Welcome back to the FlurrySports Podcast, and we are back in our element because it's Sunday. It's been a while. I feel like it's damn near been years since we've been on Sundays.
I think it's absolutely been years.
Crazy stuff. But this is peak season when we are on Sundays. Sunday afternoon, something we've never done. Possibly, probably. Over 200 episodes.
Big noon kickoff.
Hey, you don't got football to watch this week? Come hang with us, talk about football. This is the show everyone tunes into because this is the show that we give our NFL predictions. And we are known on the streets for making weirdly accurate predictions, Jake. You know,
we are.
Maybe we don't have conventional ways to do it. Maybe we predict the NBA in a weird way. Maybe we pick the World Cup based on Raton Perez. Maybe we do stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we show our work and we get to the right answer. Is it unconventional? Maybe. It's a beautiful mind, the FlurrySports Podcast. And we get there one way or another, you know?
We do. And we're a big fan of if we predict enough things,
100%.
They become true, you know?
The street cred in unincorporated town, Wisconsin, where I am right now, is strong. Do we have a stoplight? No. How many stop signs are there? I think 2. One street. But the cred on that one street is huge. People know.
This is a niche reference, but do you remember the movie Good Will Hunting? When's the last time you saw it? Okay, great.
I mean, a while, but yes, I know it.
We watched it last night. So anyway, the scene where my favorite scene where he's confronting the asshole in the bar.
Yeah.
I was like, this is us with sports talk, where it's like, I think we wait in the bars. We kind of wait our moment. And then some preppy dude comes around. I like to think it's that Nick dude who's on Fox Sports. Can't remember his name for the life of me, but you know.
Nick Wright?
Yeah, Nick Wright. Nick Wright waddles into the bar and he goes, you know, the Chiefs are due for a bounce back. We waddle in and go, well, actually, their line depth is slim. We're adding all these pieces. That's how I feel. I only get fired up when it's like, no ball, dog. Like, let's get into it, you know?
Yeah.
Let's really talk about what's going to happen this season. Because I'll start strong. I'll start here. If you tell me the Lions are going to be bad, we're throwing fists, dude.
Yeah. Yes, knock it off. I heard Dan Campbell talk about Penei Sewell this week the way I talk about Penei Sewell. And he's talked about how he's the greatest player of all time. If he decides to put him at tight end, he will be a Hall of Fame tight end. He talked about giving Penei Sewell jet sweeps. And if he gives Penei Sewell a jet sweep this season, I will lose my fucking mind. Dan Campbell is the only sicko that would do that. And Penei Sewell might take it to the house. And if he does, put him back there to return a kick. Let Penei Sewell do whatever he wants to do. Lions are going to be fine. I'm sad that Frank Ragnow is not there. But wouldn't it be the Detroit curse if Frank Ragnow doesn't get a Super Bowl ring, but the rest of the team does? You know what I mean? Like, that's the type of thing that happens in Detroit. Skipper got cut, but he got immediately brought back. I think Dan Campbell, I think Dan Campbell realized, oh no. I went to highlight Brandon's comment, almost blocked you. I almost like, boom, almost blocked you.
Punchy, baby. How do you like them apples? Yeah.
Thank God Restream said you need 2 clicks for that because I hit it immediately. So I bullseyed it right away. Looked straight at it, hit block, but did not double tap. Let's start with this, Jake, because it's been a big college football weekend. And I do
Cats got their win back, by the way.
Cats got their win back. That's good. I want your opinion on this because you are okay. This is Twitter. Go, or that's not Twitter. That's Facebook, actually. Obviously, this is Twitter. Go here. My Twitter at Fantasy Flurry. If you need the draft kit, boom, right there. Nice and easy for you. You're perpetually not on the internet. So have you seen this picture yet of Ryan Day?
I haven't.
I love that. Okay, so at the moment, nothing weird about Ryan Day. Everything's fine. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and you can tell me what the first thing you notice is, okay? I mean, circle. Ryan Day's got his nipple pierced.
Ryan Day has his nipples pierced. You can see it.
No, not nipples. Not nipples. I don't think this one's pierced. I think he's got, one. He's got best of both worlds. He's got one not
I
pierced.
think that other one's got a little nub on it. I just don't think we'll get the right angle. I can see a couple bumps, can't you?
I mean, we'll spend the whole show on this if we want.
This is the best detective work we've done all day, by the way.
Right. Thank God I have a big computer screen, but I don't know. That seems like it could be.
I kind of want only one to be pierced, one for every championship.
That might be true. Next year he'll have both pierced. Go for the 3P, he'll have his belly button pierced.
I was getting
gauges. Gauges. Ryan Day does look like a guy who could rock some gauges up here.
Ryan Day, this is actually a really good metaphor. When I watched Ted Lasso season 3, there were so many people who were like, I just can't get over Nate from season 3 because no one's like that. Ryan Day spits on himself in the mirror. Ryan Day absolutely Day does everything that Nate in season 3 does. Absolutely.
That is 100% true. Lindsay's watching it for the first time. We are on season 3 now. And the whole time, every time Nate came on the screen with the first 2 seasons, I just a look of disgust out of me. And then she's like, I don't really like him, but I don't understand. Now she understands. For full blown hate this dude. He is the absolute worst. Fun fact, Jake, did you know Ryan Day is Prince Albert from WWF's brother?
This can't be true. Is this true?
It's got to be. Got to be true.
Because you know who Prince Albert is, right?
Yeah, I do.
A-Train?
Yeah. Looks just like A-Train.
Well, that's why I'm like, is this true? Or is it just they really, really look like each other?
I'm taking as true. I'm not even going to take your word for it. I'm taking Brandon's word, no matter what.
Okay, it doesn't pop up in Wikipedia, but that doesn't necessarily mean they could have missed it, and that's okay. But it's an awesome, let's say it's a joke. It's awesome.
Great joke.
Yeah, it's a great joke. So I'll leave it there.
He said he made it up. I disagree. I think you made up a truth.
It looks just like him. Brandon, you fully set this down a rabbit hole. Now block him. False reporting won't be allowed. No, he looks just like him. He also, Brandon's onto something. He does look like every wrestler. Like, you can tell me, the only thing with that joke is if you were like, yeah, he's Goldberg's nephew, I'd be like, yep, check.
Goldberg's
Breaker's dad. Boom. He's Rick Steiner.
Okay, random wrestling thing that happened to me yesterday. I was at a wedding, and randomly, just 2 kids started fighting. It seemed like a joke. And then all of a sudden, it for sure was not a joke. And they just start actually fighting. And then what do you think the first reaction out of some relative was? The kid pinned the kid down to the ground, and he got down and went 1, 2, 3. It was a real fight, though.
Is that helpful or unhelpful? Because to me, that kind of feels like it's de-escalating something.
I thought it was great. Then he got up and then went back to his group to talk, and they were still fighting. And then I think it clicked to him oh, I need to stop this.
Why didn't they stop when I made my pin joke?
Hey,
the match is over.
Yeah, what are we doing? This isn't regulation.
That is wild. Also, random wrestling thing. I've been going through RA trading lately, and the one day I was so delusional. Like, Zach knows how it is. You get in front of a group. I'm doing public speaking for hours. Mm-hmm. You lose it halfway through. I'm doing bits just to fill my own time. I'm trying to get the room's attention. For whatever reason, I yelled out, "Bark if you can hear me." I had the room barking at me. I felt like I was cutting a Steiner promo. But I've become the gimmick because now I was responding to an incident with police at 2 a.m. And then as I was walking back across campus, I heard someone go, "Jake." I was like, "Oh, yep. Okay, great. Bark at him." So we're everywhere.
You get the full campus doing it. That's incredible.
But why is it only following me in serious scenarios? You're trying to be like, all right, the officer's going to talk to you. Oh, yeah.
The first time the officer does it to you, that's when you know.
Well, by the way, how much effort would it take me to get the officer to do it? 0. It's Lucas Kimblem.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Absolutely none. Me and Lucas would bark at a kid and then gaslight him thinking we weren't barking.
Right. True.
Officer, did you just bark? No. Ooh. Oh.
Do we have a problem here? Okay, so Ryan Day,
Nipple pierced. By the way, we ran past it quick, which I don't blame because who knows if anyone watched the K-State game. K-State, did you see their final score against North Dakota?
I think they routed them, didn't they, or no?
They got their win back, baby, 38-35.
Oh, I thought it was a blowout. Okay. Hey, you know what? Tough win. That's a tough game.
I'm not filled with hope for the season.
Never know. Hey, maybe that's what the boys need. They need a big win, a close win to get their confidence back. So now they're going to be good to go.
Yeah, I don't know. But college football's in the air. But more importantly, Zach, fantasy football's in the air. Professional football's in the air. We are ready.
We are ready. And like we said last week, every single week now, we are going to be locking in two of the biggest storylines, the two biggest headlines of the week. And we're going to look back at the end of the season, have the full story of the NFL season. So today we are going to agree on two off-season stories and two preseason/training camp stories. And then after this, it'll be every week we only have two. So let's start with the off-season. We can go back and forth. I have a few written down. How many do you have?
I've got two written down, but I was shuffling through a few, so I might think of more, but I have two written down.
Okay, I have three, so I'll start, and if we agree on any, I think that's probably a good, indication to lock that in.
Yeah.
Sam, I'll get to you in a little bit. Not a fantasy show, but we're always talking about fantasy here anyway. So off-season storyline. First one I have is Mike Tomlin walks on the beach. Make sure Rodgers follows him to Pittsburgh.
Rodgers to Pittsburgh. I had Rodgers and Metcalf to Pittsburgh as my number 3. So that was a barely miss for me. But I agree. I think the Tomlin recruiting aspect of it, and also that's probably should be in there, because between getting Rodgers to Pittsburgh, the Metcalf pickings of it all, and also what has since followed, which is Rodgers being a dick to every fan he comes across, seemingly, I feel like is going to be the story of the season.
Yeah, I mean, it was a huge offseason story, obviously, and all of a sudden now, people are so down on Pittsburgh, and I don't understand why. But
I know
that'll be one to follow. They're still favored to miss the playoffs.
It is so what. And by the way, Sam in the chat, no need to apologize, dog. We'll get to it, dog. Now I'm confident. We'll get to you. We're just going to start with football, but we're going to end probably with some fantasy football talk. So no sweat at all. But for Pittsburgh, do you think it's just like an AFC North fatigue? Like it's like they are not the Ravens and not the Bengals?
I guess. I don't know. That or people just are really down on Rodgers, but I don't understand that either. I don't know. If you add Rodgers to the Pittsburgh Steelers, does that mean Mike Tomlin's going to have his worst season of all time? I can't imagine that's the case.
Well, especially, I don't understand. I can understand, okay, Rodgers an older quarterback. Perhaps you're not that high on him, but also they added DK Metcalf. That's what I don't understand is like, before Rodgers joined, the Metcalf thing propelled them to like top of the division. Like, oh, wow, they added Metcalf, but we don't know who's throwing him the ball. And then we added a quarterback, and now Metcalf doesn't matter. So that part I agree with completely of like, that does not make sense to me. I think they've made good movements. If anything, I'm worried about their backup QB situation just from a health perspective, but aren't we always?
Skylar Thompson spin it.
I mean, I have. You're so right. So in a bar,
you're good.
But I got to stop because eventually someone's going to call me out on how barely I know this guy. But I've seen him. We've been in the same rooms.
Well, we'll get Skylar Thompson. We'll get him on the show. He'll give his side of the story, and then we'll get to the bottom of it. It'll be somewhere in the middle. It will be the truth.
100%. By the way, new title of the show, Somewhere in the Middle. So it's good. I agree completely with the Steelers one. If that ends up in their top one, I think that's good. My first one on my list was, we kind of teased it already in terms of what the impact of it is going to be. But I certainly think Lions lose both coordinators. Was one that I think between those folks going to their own teams. So I kind of cheated in that way of like, I especially think like Ben Johnson has been his own talking point in Chicago, but just like former Lions guys going elsewhere and what that A means for the Lions and B means for them on the Jets and Chicago, I thought was a big one, especially it's like, what does this mean for the Lions? Because either they're totally rebuilding, or is there a world where it's like all things are true? Like the Lions are still fine and those coordinators are really good at being coaches?
Yeah. Yeah. People forget that Dan Campbell is like a really good offensive mind and called the offense and developed the offense. Like people are acting like all of a sudden now no one's going to be calling plays for Jared Goff and now he has to call his own plays. That's not true. Defensively, I like Aaron Glenn. I think he's a good coach. Lions defense was bad. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
They were disastrously injured.
That's the reason. But it's not like they're going to, now that they're healthy with a new coordinator, that doesn't make them worse than when they were with a good coordinator and unhealthy.
So I agree completely, but I am interested right now. My brain can't unwrap. I agree completely that I think the Lions are going to be okay. My brain is telling me that means that both of those dudes are about to suck.
Like I think there's a high probability.
Yeah. And that's what I'm wondering is that, like, if that's tangled up, is like, if they were not the remedy in Detroit, I do not think they will be the remedy in New York. I actually think Aaron Glenn, maybe I'm off on this. I think Aaron Glenn has a higher chance of success in New York than Ben Johnson, just because maybe the ask is different. Like, I think if you come in as a defensive mind, maybe your bar for success is just different. I think he could. I don't think the Jets defense is terrible. So I think he could get a good defense out of the Jets and everyone goes, nice job, Aaron Glenn. Whereas I think if Ben Johnson's Bears aren't, one of the most predominant offenses in the NFL, which would be a big jump, that's not a win for him, So, but yeah, I had the Lions blowing up is kind of the big one because to me, that is they were the best team from last year that looks the most different, mainly because of the coaching changes.
Sure. The next big story, and I don't have these ranked, by the way, but the next 100%. Big storyline I had for the offseason was that the tush push stayed legal because that was a massive thing right away. And everyone's trying to outlaw it. Yeah.
That's a good one because it's would have been huge if that was outlawed, and the fact that they remained it. Like, will teams do anything?
Every team's going to try it. Every team, they tried to install some sort of tush push package this offseason. And then now the Eagles, if I'm the Eagles, I run it first play.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? It should be the biggest fuck you to everybody this year.
If there was a team besides the Eagles that could be really good at it, do you have a pick?
I think when healthy, the Saints could be decent with Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
I think the Seahawks could be pretty good with Jalen Milroe. They'll bring him in instead of Darnold.
Yeah.
There's other teams. There's other teams that'll use a non-quarterback to do it. Like the Packers used Tucker Kraft last year, and he was all right.
I think, like, an obvious one, if they wanted to, Josh Allen is kind of built for it.
If they want to do it, yeah. The Eagles also, by the way, the Eagles brought in A.J. Dillon. They'll use him in that package.
Well,
that's the reason they brought him in.
Yeah, it's like, will they use other folks? Because if it's just quarterbacks, but that they could mix folks around in this. Like, Dak could do this. I could see Dak being good at this in Dallas. So
I'm excited to see Tua try it.
Somehow going to lead spine first. Jumps backwards through like Saquon. Can't wait. I didn't know how to categorize this next one because I feel like I almost just said the draft, but that felt a little basic. So I narrowed it in because this is definitely one. The Shadur Sanders of it all, / Browns QB room, is I mean, the Browns QB room is a drama. We've talked about it before. Give me a camera on that ASAP. The fact that Joe Flacco's cutting promos about how his kids get to watch him play football and remember him and how special it is, and he's sharing a room with just 4 pit bulls who hate each other. Yeah. Like, by the way, Dylan Gabriel's like the highlight of all that, and he's immediately called out other folks in the room, which I like. I'm like, hey, I would like to voice my opinion that I am not separated from the drama.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I love that he was talking up. I hate that he backtracked, but if he could start talking shit, that'll be incredible.
Yeah. So all of that. And I mean, I don't want to skip over that just the slip in the draft of Shedeur. I feel like now with time has kind of been lessened. Whatever happens, that is it's one of the wildest things that's ever happened in the draft.
Agreed. I didn't know what to do with the Browns. I put them in the preseason one, but you're right that the Shedeur draft slip is one of the bigger offseason stories. Just a look ahead, like in the training camp preseason headline that we do, I just said essentially Browns drama because it just continued into it.
Correct.
Then they had the Quinshon Judkins thing. Then they had
Myles Garrett.
Yeah, right. Myles Garrett. He got arrested. And then they had Isaiah Bond, the guy who didn't get drafted. They decided to pick him up now. Like, the Browns are they're the story. They're the head. The spotlight's on the Browns with them still being one of the worst teams in the NFL. They're must watch.
Yeah. If I was going to, the Browns are so must watch. We talked about this last week of like, they're to me the most intriguing team in the league. Especially because I do not think you can just label them bad. I don't think you can. No. Which is wild to me. I also think there's like if Joe Flacco leads this team to any sort of somewhat success, they will be one of the best feel-good stories in the NFL, which is gross. But that'll be what it is because it's attached to Joe. Same way that it's like anything Jameis Winston touches turns to rom-com gold. So I did have some honorable mentions from the draft. I didn't know if any of these were big enough, but for Packer fans, I briefly thought about like the golden draft in Green Bay. I thought was a story. I don't know if one of the bigger ones, but especially because he's looked good in the preseason. But Jackson Dart and Jameis Winston and Russell in New York, I mentioned. And then I had this split between the two. Actually, I'm going to leave this one for preseason. This one is more preseason. But yeah, any other draft things that I'm missing that like, oh yeah, that was a big story? I just think all the quarterbacks that went before Shedeur are kind of part of his story, I guess.
Yeah, I think, the draft being in Green Bay is a story, I suppose. But I think, I don't know. I think
the other ones. Yeah.
No, and I think the big headline there is the Shedeur draft slip. I think for sure that was one of the biggest offseason stories. It has to be.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Shedeur, and then, well, do you have any others? Let's talk through the ones you've got.
My last one, and it's not as big, I don't think, but it was veteran coaches coming back. So Pete Carroll and Vrabel back being head coaches.
I was wondering if you mentioned. To me, this is the other one.
I don't think it is. I think it's huge, but I think I don't know. Like, I really think the Rodgers story was bigger and more impactful. And I think the tush push one, I think that's going to reveal itself as the season goes along. I think that's a massive one because I think it gets banned next offseason.
Well, if they is that just dependent on like how bad would the Eagles need to do for that rule to stay? It's kind of a fun question.
It'll have to be with nobody having success.
Or many teams have it. But I agree. I actually think I kind of forgot about it because we started with it. I definitely think it's I definitely think it's the Steelers. And then Shedeur Sanders. I feel really good about that. Before we gloss over the veteran coaches, I think the only reason especially the two you mentioned, Vrabel and Carroll, I think some of the reasons I'm like maybe is I actually see both, like what happens if both those teams sneak into the playoffs. And And maybe they could, especially I think Vrabel, like all of a sudden I hear the Patriots mentioned in every like season prediction. But
Right.
and don't worry, Brandon had his comment I'm going to get to with the preseason pick about Travis Hunter. But I totally agree. I think that depending on the success of these coaches, this could be a bigger story. I especially think like two organizations, especially the Raiders, it's like I went from having no faith in their future plans to like, it's a Pete Carroll project now.
Yeah, I think the Raiders will be competitive, just not good enough yet.
Yeah,
I think the Patriots are sneaky. Like I think the defense, I have zero doubts about the defense. I know they're going to play well, and then offensively, Josh McDaniels being back there, as long as the offensive line's okay, I think they have receivers. I think they have running backs, and I believe in Drake May.
And Campbell has been just lights out in the preseason. So everyone knew he's going to be good. So the one we didn't mention, I don't think it's as big as our two we've picked of Steelers and Shedeur. New quarterbacks, new places, kind of a like sneaky low year, but when it's headlined by Sam Darnold, it's not as sexy, right? But can I just say the fact that no one is talking about Seattle is, I mean, I think almost a story in itself of like they went out and made the biggest QB acquisition of the season. Everyone's already like, well, that's going to fail.
They'll be interesting because I think their defense is really good. So if their offense has any success, and again, it's a Gary Kubiak. Gary Kubiak? No, it's his son's name. Clint Kubiak. It's a Clint Kubiak offense, so it's just going to be a super simple zone run scheme, right? But if they stay healthy enough and are decent enough, they're going to challenge for the NFC West. They
Correct.
have to.
Well, they have to in the NFC West. I mean, wide open.
Also, Seattle and the Packers had joint practices in Green Bay. Luke was there, and one of the first things I asked him is if he saw Cooper Kupp, because I don't think he's been seen visually by anybody this entire offseason. Like nobody understands that Cooper Kupp's in Seattle. Nobody has seen him practice. Nobody has seen anything. And Luke said he saw him one time jogging down the sideline, and that's it. Like that is so mysterious to me. If Cooper Kupp can be, if he just stays healthy, like I think Seattle's pretty good.
Yeah, I think. Listen, they made a lot of big moves. They were pretty. People forget they were a playoff team last year with Geno. And to say what you want about Sam Darnold, did we not all think he's better than Geno?
No, I don't.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I don't think Geno's that great, but this isn't a glowing endorsement for Geno. Sam Darnold's okay. He is, if I'm ranking 1 through 32, he is, 25 or so. He's right. He has a job. He
has a job. And by the way, Geno to Oakland, I think is that Vegas. The other?
Oh, that's God. A big story. A couple years ago, but yeah.
Don't worry, Oakland. Everyone else may forget you, not me.
Yeah, but, even Brandon. You have Darnold ahead of Geno?
Okay, well now, see, this is what happens. I don't want to be the guy who's like, have we thought about this mediocre white dude being better than Geno Smith? But
well, also it's like we need to decide who's in that 8th tier of quarterback. We need to figure this out here. Who is rated 24 and who's rated 25?
Okay, this is a sincere question because Zach is better at the stats than I am when it comes to football, so I just don't want to lose it. I'm not incorrect in saying, and I know this isn't the argument, Sam Darnold definitely had a better statistical year last year than Geno, right? That's not what we're talking about. It's just
last year, but Geno notoriously had one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL.
I couldn't agree more. And so we'll see if that picks up. I guess all I'm saying is like, that's what I'm saying is like everyone's treating Sam Darnold like he's a poison chalice, which maybe he is, but I just like that we're all like, going to be bad.
One of two things is true, though. Either Sam Darnold has figured it out or Kevin O'Connell's a genius. I'm on the latter, but if that's the case, nobody's giving J.J. McCarthy credit. I know you're not going to, but like JJ McCarthy could be very good this year.
Well, and maybe that's what's happening because I actually think you've perfectly boiled it down because as soon as you said those two options, I'm like, that is what I'm thinking about. And I guess that means I believe in Sam Darnold. Because I don't want to think that Kevin O'Connell is a quarterback whisperer, whether that could be true or not.
Though.
So
he's good.
We'll find out. I told Zach that I had to revise my prediction list because it wasn't right to wish death upon someone 2 years in a row.
Yeah. For those who don't know, this is a big show because last year Jake almost killed JJ McCarthy. He cast his spell on him and he immediately afterwards got hurt. So it is what it is.
Well, it is what it is, and we'll see if he's gonna throw to anything. I don't know, man. I want them to not be good.
The Vikings?
But yeah, 100%. But that's as deep as it goes. I know. So we'll see. But it's a want.
They're probably my pick for number 2 in the division.
See, that is interesting. We'll get into it. I think there are so many divisions that I would understand if people ranked 1 through 4 completely jumbled.
NFC North's impossible, but it's the best division in football.
NFC West, not for the same level of talent, but like those could be in any order. And
those teams are good though.
Those teams are good. They're not bad, but they could be in any order. And what was the other one? I'm like, if you
NFC
told me
South,
NFC
AFC South too.
I was thinking of the AFC South. The NFC South, okay, so the NFC South and the AFC North are the same thing to me, which is you could tell me any of those teams somehow sneak a win in the division for the most part, but you can't tell me the Texans aren't at least finishing second, and same with the Ravens. So I guess that's where I'm like a little locked in, where it's like, if the wheels, I don't think this is going to happen, but if the wheels somehow fell off Detroit, like...
Yeah, it's possible.
If the Saints win the NFC South, I eat my hat. Probably a good pick.
This is what's beautiful about the NFL this season. I think for the past, I've been creating content for a long time, like maybe 10 years now. Not quite 10 years, 8 years, I think. So I think for the previous 7 years, I've always said, I don't know what the Saints are. Like they could be bad, they could be good, and they somehow finish right in the middle of it. Like I have no idea what the Saints are doing. This year, I know. And I'm happy to say the Saints are finally bad at football. They have to be. Spencer Rattler is their quarterback. Tyrann Mathieu is no longer on their defense. I am very comfortable saying the New Orleans Saints are bad at football.
Bad at football. Well, when we're going to do our losers draft this episode.
Worst coaching staff in the NFL too. It's disastrous.
They are bad, and so are the Cowboys. I just have no faith in Brian Schottenheimer, but it's not as bad as
I like the Cowboys. I'm on the opposite side. We'll do our loser draft. You can take the Cowboys. I will not do that.
We'll get to it. Okay, Zach, let's do preseason, and I think we've got the most obvious starting storyline ever, right?
Nope.
One of them's got to be
go for it.
Our boy. Our saving grace
Matthew
here
Stafford.
In the great north. Yes.
Oh.
Matthew Stafford resigns. Micah Parsons and all things Cowboys blowing up. The Packers. I mean, whatever you think of the trade, it's the big.
Here's the thing. Here's my thing. I don't think the story's Micah Parsons.
You think the story's Jerry Jones? Kenny Clark.
100%. I wish it was Kenny. To me, it's Kenny Clark. I'll miss him. I think the story's Jerry Jones. Correct. Documentary comes out about him. He goes on this big publicity tour to drive more traffic to the freaking documentary. And then he is either making an incredible business move or fully sabotaging his own business. Probably the latter. But I don't know. Like this story has been about Jerry Jones the entire time. It hasn't been about Micah Parsons, in my opinion.
And I agree completely. I also, this is our first time kind of fully chatting through this. So I don't know for sure if we're going to land on the exact same page about this deal. I think it's kind of horseshit that it's like suddenly Parsons is getting painted with a brush. I think slightly of like, come on, be professional, learn how to negotiate. And it's like only one of these dudes runs an organization. Like, what are we doing? And I don't think that's unfair to save Parsons, but I think it's kind of wild that we're skipping over that with Jerry. He's in, that they just really needed a run stopper, Zach. That was why they did this deal.
They did. And Micah was not going to do that. He refused. So yeah, I think the Cowboys, I don't know. I think the Cowboys made a good decision for them. And then the Packers, we know they weren't going to draft a good first round pick anyway. So fucking get rid of them. It's fine.
I think this could fully work out for both teams, which is not the exciting option that folks want. But this is the whole deal. I have no idea how this is going to work. I think you could boldly claim that either side of this deal blows up easily. Like it'd be easy for the Packers because if Parsons isn't good, they paid a lot of money. But in like the medical table, Brandon just made a good point. Yeah. So 100%. Here's my only thing. Okay. Brandon made a good point. I am going to talk about it.
For sure. He is a petulant child, by the way.
I'm not a petulant child. 100%. Here's my thing with it, which is not Brandon's argument. So I don't want to paint Brandon in this corner. There are a ton of whiny babies in the NFL, just a shit ton of them. I don't think that means they're bad at football. And if we don't give a shit when people hit women, I'm not going to give a shit when people roll around on the medical table. And that is not Brandon's argument. I did not paint Brandon into that corner. But I'm just saying out loud, like, I had people message me and be like, the Packers signed such a bad dude. And I was like Googling things like,
he's got a podcast.
Like, he is an a-hole and we cannot like him.
He is.
It is okay not to like him. And it's okay to be like, man, there's a dude I don't like on my team. Totally get it. I just don't think that impacts his play. And I also, this is my thing.
True.
You and I are on the same page about this, so whatever. I'm fully out on like, I just don't mind players holding out for contracts. It doesn't make you a whiny baby in my book. Like, I think that's escalated all of this is like, not only was he on a medical table making faces, but it was while he was not playing football. And it's like, dudes, they have no bargaining power. Like they just have to like sit out and it's whatever. So that's my only thing with it is I am not worried about the character of Micah Parsons rushing. But yes, Brandon, I do agree with that. I don't like the way NFL players are becoming like NBA players.
Same.
Get it. I mean, yeah, that part totally get. I mean, we've got the Sanders out here. You know, I don't know if we're going to get to Shiloh, but it's like we've got a lot of stuff happening. So that I totally agree.
Forget about Shiloh. He's so he's the fucking LiAngelo Ball of this family. I don't care about LiAngelo Ball and I don't care about Shiloh Sanders. It's fine. But yeah, players, I almost said, and I don't agree with this, I almost said like players are just getting more of their individual brands like NBA players, and that's why this is going on. And that's part of it. But they're also just trying to be like in some of them, right? But they're trying to be the rock star rapper lifestyle. Yeah. And they're just not that. Like football is different. It's just a different culture. So when they're trying to bring in a different culture, it just doesn't work. But on the flip side, I also cannot stand that Trey Hendrickson sits out, doesn't do anything. And then when football starts, he's like, oh, I mean, I'll come back. Sure. Like, brother, stick to your guns. You are the sack leader. Get paid, you dumbass. Like, you're the worst.
And I guess that's the thing is like, it's just really hard to get a win, you know? So it's like, that's not going to be part that ruins it for me, but I totally get it. My dad asked me, should I hate Micah Parsons? And I said, you really didn't. My dad really did not like Chad Ochocinco. And I was like, I think there's a world. Yes. Correct. I was like, well,
here's my question.
Not apples to apples, but yeah.
When does the Packers fan base turn on Micah Parsons? Because it will happen.
I think there's a chance it's immediately when he doesn't play as much in this first game as people think he might.
By the way, him joining the Packers does not work.
Yeah, scheme wise.
I don't want that to skip away. The Packers front office makes decisions and then they say, okay, here's the players. These are the players you have to play. But I understand it doesn't necessarily work, but you're the coach. You go coach. So what's he playing? Is he playing edge rusher? Let's take a first round pick off the field then. If he's not playing edge rusher, is he playing off ball? That doesn't work. We haven't done anything with that. Also, we're a 4-3. So who's playing next to Wyatt now? because Kenny Clark's got it. We don't have that. So like nothing really works.
Yeah.
The straw that stirs the drink is Xavier McKinney, who also hasn't been able to practice. The Packers' base defense that they wanted to do, for whatever reason, bad decision. They wanted to play 3 safeties this year. That doesn't work. So like legitimately, Micah Parsons, what makes the most sense for him is playing nickel. And I don't think that's going to happen. But like, I don't know. I think he's a good player. I think he'll play well. I think he makes the Packers defense better by default. But it does not work. Like, this wasn't a decision that was thought out. It was just like, ooh, Micah Parsons, let's get him.
Have we mentioned pass rusher who's available? Yeah.
Trade Rashawn Gary. That will solve every issue in the world.
I couldn't agree more. I definitely I think it's fair. By the way, I don't want to skip over this. I earlier said, is there a world where this works for both teams? For sure. Is there a very big world where this just blows up in both teams' faces? Everybody. Yeah. Correct. The smartest thing Jerry did in this, I don't want to miss with this, is I get ready now. We're not able to evaluate this trade for 3 years. He's going to say it a million times because until I draft in 2027, Jerry's going to be like, hey, how many times, by the way, big weekend for Herschel Walker. How many times have I heard the fucking Herschel Walker trade mentioned this weekend? I was like, yeah, I get it. Okay. It could work. That's how draft choices are. I also tend to more agree with the Rams GM. Fuck them pick. So we'll see. Definitely I think the biggest story, no matter what side of it you land on, there's so much shit to talk about with it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put Jerry Jones, Micah Parsons, just because like that has to be it.
Well, Jerry Jones is for sure the bigger part of it because it's also everything. We could have included that in with like Jerry Jones, whatever you think of their coaching staff, because I know you just said they like it. Brian Schottenheimer was not top of his list. And
no.
Jerry Jones, the impact of Jerry Jones this offseason and training camp again is top of the shelf. So
I agree. Another storyline I have, and it's one of the biggest, there's no doubt about it. It's not a football one. But I have Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift getting engaged. That's obviously taken over absolutely everything. I'm not sure if you're still here or not, but that was obviously one of the biggest storylines of the season. While Jake is not here, I'm not sure if something's going wrong. Let's answer a fantasy question. Sam, what's up? 12-man PPR, 2 flexes, big pot. Love that. 3rd overall. I drafted in order Gibbs, A-Chain, London, Hill, Sutton, McMillan, Rice, and Ikbuka. Loveland, Charbonnet, and McCarthy. What do we think? Okay, so 12 teams. So he's got a starting backfield of Gibbs and A-Chain. That's obviously very solid. London, Hill, Sutton. That's really good. I'm very iffy on Hill this year, but I'm more than happy to have Sutton as a wide receiver too. Rice will be good once he's back. It's just they're missing him 7 out of the first 10 weeks. But what I love what you did is you went Rice, but you went Ikbuka, who's going to start the year with a bigger role because Godwin's not going to play right away. And he's a great player, and he's a handcuff essentially at the wide receiver position to both of those Buccaneers wide receivers. So I like that. Loveland's your tight end. I'm still a little iffy there. I know the Bears love him. I know he's going to play a lot, but I wonder if he's going to be more of a blocker than a receiver to start. Charbonnet is a great bench guy, and I think McCarthy's good. Like I don't know if McCarthy's good. I think he's in the absolute perfect situation. So if McCarthy's in the perfect situation, and he has Justin Jefferson to throw the football to, and TJ Hawkinson, and Adam Thielen, and then, oh, by the way, after a month he has Jordan Addison as well, I'm good with that. Are you back?
I'm back. That seems like a call that's going to come back to me. But for now, I'm back. I'm here. I'm ready to go. Did I hear you start to talk about?
I said that was just for the fantasy question. I said one of the biggest storylines, and it's not one for me, but it's definitely one of the biggest ones, was Kelce and Taylor Swift.
Oh,
getting engaged.
I thought I didn't know if we were going to mention that. I agree. I mean, if we were literally doing this, like just
if you're talking numbers, that's for sure the biggest one.
Yeah, 101. I don't really have any. I agree. I don't really have an opinion on it though. Besides, hey, nice, you know.
I mean, it sounds like she is going to be more and more integrated in the NFL legitimately.
I
And
actually
that's
think she had a really
good
good idea for a new sport. Did you hear about what she thought football was?
now.
Um, Time for answer, brother.
You're welcome, Sam.
Yeah, 100%. Maybe this is a bad idea. I thought it was funny. According to her, on their first date, she thought that when folks played football, the quarterbacks were on the field at the same time. She thought that like both teams were trying to score touchdowns simultaneously.
Okay. That's interesting.
So is that completely wrong? Absolutely. Is there something there? Who knows, Zach?
Possibly.
We could do new Swift rules.
Swift rule football. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Is Taylor Swift going to change her last name to Kelsey or what?
Taylor Kelsey. No,
Yeah.
but he should change his name to Swift.
Travis Swift. That's the he has to be a country singer at that point. Singer at that point.
Could be a swinger too.
Country swinger as well. Never know.
But I agree it's up there. The one I teased earlier, I wanted to see. I didn't know where to put this. But I wanted to, I guess, Jacksonville is a story. Like whether I don't know where with like Duval, like is Sean Casey going to be anything?
Yeah.
They're straight up. They are trying Travis Hunter on both sides.
They're going to run him into the ground. Like they have to. They put everything on this. He is the show.
To me, that made it. I don't know if he's, I don't know if he's one of the top two stories, but for preseason stuff, I was like, frick me, dude, they're doing it. And by the way, already kind of like, I don't know if this is going to work.
Even if it does not work, he will still do it.
Oh, that's for sure.
That's where they are.
Yep. Do you agree, though, that this is like a thing to follow for them?
Oh, it's for sure a thing to follow. I don't know if it's a big preseason story, but like regular season, there will be a point where he makes a huge play on both offense and defense in the same game, and people will lose their mind. Like, it's just going to happen. He's not a bad football player, but I don't know.
I think we could lead the charge on this. Maybe I got to start looking at the metrics. I do think the folks are going to get lost on because everyone thinks he's not going to do it, like run into the ground, like you said, which is probably the most likely outcome. So I don't want to be like, that's not. But I do think we have to establish what's the most mediocre he could be on both sides of the football and still be incredibly valuable because he's mediocre on two sides of the football. Like, he doesn't have to be Pro Bowl on both sides. And I don't know where the line is, but I think we should figure that out of like, let's say in pro football rankings, he's a top 80 guy on both sides. Does that equal top 20 overall? So I think we can work on it. I think there's an equation we could make here, but I think that could be something to maybe highlight.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, we know what the Jags want, right? They want him to win offense and defensive rookie of the year. That's what they want to happen. So they will feature him on offense because of that. And then they're just hoping defense happens. Whereas the quarterbacks will just either try to dunk on him or they'll completely ignore him, depending on who that quarterback is. So it's going to be so hard for him to have any metrics on defense, I think. Or especially not being a starter.
Correct. Yeah, or as Bomani Jones called out, run a go route on him every time.
Yeah, why not?
Make him run.
Do it. Tire his ass out.
Yeah. Make it obvious. Never throw it to him, but he's still got to run with him.
100%. Yeah. And if you don't, we're going to get you.
So we'll see. But that was one of mine of just like, what's happening with Travis Hunter? But any other ones? I know I'm missing some big ones from the preseason. I got one more on my list that I thought was pretty big.
Yeah, I have Stafford's entire back issue. I think that's a massive one considering the Rams are expected to be contenders. Then he had to get an epidural. They really don't know what's going on. He really didn't practice at all until this past week. It's weird. There's so much like uncertainty and just they're hiding so much about this back issue. We don't really know what it is. So that's a big story, and it's one that it'll keep popping up. We know Stafford's going to get hurt. Will Stafford play hurt? He will play hurt. Will he play fully injured? So I think this is super interesting, especially in a division that we already said you could pick any of those teams to win it. And the Rams were by far the favorites at one point. But because now we're looking at, Jimmy G and Devontae are back together again once Stafford's out. Now everyone's like, I don't know if I like the Rams. So I think that's a big story. I had the Browns one, like I said, I just said Browns take center stage essentially. And then I have the Saints can't find a quarterback.
Yeah, the Saints
doing everything they can.
Comically bad is something to watch. Yeah. Like how did they not get a quarterback?
I don't know. And they the whole preseason was like, we are going to make sure we know between Jake Haener and Tyler Shuck, one of them will be our starter. And then they cut Haener, made Shuck the backup, and then now Spencer Rattler's there. So for predictions, which we'll do in a second, or we can do it right now. We don't need to do the actual physical predictions given the time of the show. Like one of the things I said was over under 3.5 players on the Saints this year throwing a pass on offense. And I think the answer is over.
Over. Yeah, far over. That's a really fun prediction.
Because we know Shuck and Rattler and Taysom Hill. Probably the best quarterback they play this entire season isn't on their roster yet.
Yeah, and who do you think that is? Take a guess.
Jameis Winston.
I think Jameis Winston's very good. God, the Kenny Pickett trade was weird to me because I really thought he might end up here, so probably not. I'm going to say Gardner Minshew.
Gardner's the 2 in Kansas City, so they won't trade him.
Who knows?
I mean, maybe. Otherwise, they could do like a Snoop Huntley thing, I suppose.
Oh, that's true. I kind of forgot. Yeah.
I don't remember which team we pitched this for last year. It was either the Colts or the Titans, I think, probably. But I think they should do a new quarterback every week. I think that's the most fun thing.
I've got it. I've landed on it. Mike White.
Mike White's a good one. He's practice squad, so they can just claim him right now.
Yeah.
Pitch for it.
Yeah. I feel good about that. Or the Bears get rid. That'd be so mean. They get rid of Tyler Badgett right after he cried at the podium about how happy he is to be in Chicago forever. I
mean, if I'm Chicago, cool. Stay. We'll trade away Caleb Williams. Get rid of him.
Yeah, true. That is true. The one off-season one, 30-second one, because it's not actually, but hey, how about my boy Daniel Jones won the QB competition? Straight up.
Gotta feel good for. He was a safety last year for one practice, but he was a safety.
Two-way player. You want to talk about Travis Hunter?
Yeah, who did it first? Same division. He can do it.
My first prediction. Let me see if I could somehow do a segue off of what we were just talking about. Go ahead.
We gotta settle on our second preseason.
Oh yeah.
We got Jerry and Micah.
Yeah, we've got good buddy duo, by the way. We've got Jerry and Micah. What do you think? What are you leaning towards?
I mean, I think it's a story. I think that Kelsey engagement's
let's
huge.
Just put it up there because it's correct. It's factually correct that's the other big one that happened. Yeah, and by the way, let's be a-holes for a second. Sincerely, if he does not play well, this will be the biggest story we hear about every week. So
true. That is true.
Probably will be even if he plays well. Which, by the way, I don't know, man. I say what you want about them. If two folks, one of us actively engaged, one just married within the last year. If I had my performance review tied to my marriage timeline, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
Sure. So it's like that in a nutshell. I have empathy for. I don't need that in my life. So
no, that'd be whatever though.
And I think the new album's going to be a bop. He did ask for it. I mean, they got into it. Zach, how about this? We've talked a little bit about the Lions. I've got a prediction for you. You're going to like it. I guarantee it. Dan Campbell's going to win Coach of the Year.
I would love that. That's very possible.
If they lose 2 offensive coordinators and they win this division, I think that would be enough. Or I said 2 offensive coordinators, but 2 coordinator on either side. Because that's what I don't want. Like everyone's like, oh, the Lions are going to be worse. And I really haven't heard anyone not pick them to win the division. So it's
Right.
like, are you going to give them credit or not? Like, I think if they are as good as they were and they lost 2 things, Dan Campbell 100% should get that trophy.
Yeah. I mean, you could have said the same thing. We don't have the fatigue yet, but you could have said the same thing about Belichick every time a coordinator leaves
Right.
and is terrible and Belichick kept winning. Like, theoretically, he could have won 15 coach of the years. But yeah, for sure. If the offense is just as good, and we know the defense really doesn't matter, but if the offense is just as good under Campbell and they win the division, fuck yeah, give it to him.
And he doesn't have one yet.
Right. Yeah, I know. Weirdly. I don't even know who else would really be in the running, I guess, at the moment.
Yeah, I think
Vrabel.
Vrabel, Sirianni, just because there's a lack of absence. So it's like, I think if he was just wire to wire good, there could be something there. He won't get this. I would love some, like, if the Chiefs do the exact same thing they did last year, Reed should get it. If they throw up those numbers and get that record, Reed should get it. But yeah, so that's my first one, is that I just think that in terms of picking an award one, that's kind of a fun one to me. Is I just think the Lions are still going to be good, and I think that should mean that Campbell finally gets his flowers.
That's fair. Let's do our Super Bowl pick, and then we have the Super Bowl logo to analyze, so we can do that as well. But my answer, I'll just give right away because I think it's boring. Like, in terms of the matchup, I don't see anybody better than the Eagles in the NFC. I really don't. I think it'll take an injury, and I'm not going to predict an injury. And it'll probably take multiple injuries. They're too good. So I think they're representing on the NFC. And then AFC is where it gets weird. But, I mean, the Chiefs just lost the Super Bowl. Their whole weakness was their offensive line. And I think their offensive line got better, even though they traded away a couple guys as well. So I think they run it back, and I think the Chiefs get their revenge. I really do.
Damn. We have the exact same pick.
It's boring, but it is what it is.
I've got to repeat. And not just for storyline purposes, though I do think that's a storyline. I just think I agree with your assessment completely. I think on the NFC side, it is about picking the team with the least question marks. Like, in terms of predictive, sure, there are other teams that could in spurts be good. Honestly, it's a big gap between one and then a big gap between two, because I don't think anyone's close to the Lions either. But
fair, yeah.
I just think Eagles, like, I guess someone beats them. That's the only thing that can happen. But, like, they're really
Eagles
good.
Got better though.
They got better, so it should be the Eagles. And on the AFC side, I just will not pick the Chiefs when someone does it. All of these teams are good. They were good last year. And actually, the Chiefs last year, like, should have been the team for them that got exposed and was not exposed anywhere along the line until the Super Bowl. So I agree with you. They've improved. If it wasn't going to be last year when they were, like, winning by hopes and prayers, I don't know how.
And their wide receiver one was out the entire year, basically. We forget that.
Yeah. And listen, again, does not mean there's some unbelievably good teams in the AFC. It's just they have been unbelievably good, and it hasn't mattered yet. So, yeah, I'm running it back. My only disagreement, I actually think the Eagles win again.
Brandon, don't fall into this. Tell me one thing the Packers are better than the Eagles at. One.
It's going to be that spite from Parsons laying on the medical table.
Yeah, maybe.
I like that.
The Packers run defense got worse, but at least the Eagles won't run it against them.
No, but Brandon, shout out to you, because that is every Packer fan right now. We're all like, I don't know about this Parsons thing, but I do think we're really good. But
we're really good.
If I was going to pick a team can we do this? Do we have time? Pick a team that's not those teams? Yeah.
Any of them that we just mentioned? Like, if we want to do true dark horses or what?
No, literally anyone but them. We can do dark horses another time, like, more in depth. I was just going to give my, like, second option for both the AFC and NFC. Because if I wasn't going to do the Chiefs, I sincerely would do the Bills. Like, I know you're out. I know you're out on them. I just think, again, they do have people everywhere. They're a deep team. They just, like, don't get it done. So We'll see. But I would pick the Bills.
If they stay healthy, and they never do, I'm picking the Ravens. They're so good. They're always banged up at the worst time, but I think they can do it. I think they're really good. Can you imagine if Jair Alexander's healthy down the stretch? Like, this defense would be so insane. The offense we know is good. So, I mean, my secondary picks are Lions, Ravens, which would be maybe my ideal Super Bowl. I think that'd be so fun.
I don't know. I think Lions is smart. Like I said, I think Lions are the clear number 2 team.
I think Rams are good though too. If Stafford somehow stays healthy,
because that's how it happens. I was going to say, even though the Lions are the second best team, if it's not the Eagles, I'm going to say it's the Rams, because let's just say they're somehow healthy at the end of the year. If that happens, they are that good. It just hasn't happened. But they're the one with like that pedigree. I fully think if they're healthy down the stretch, Aaron Donald comes out.
I hope so. That would be fun.
Back on. Yeah, it would be very fun. So I got those. Do you want to do anything else?
Let's take a look at this logo here. So
yes,
we always analyze the colors in the logo, and then it tells us who the Super Bowl teams are. However, this logo, they intentionally made too many colors to throw people off. So Super Bowl LX is the one we're coming up on. It's in San Francisco. So because of that, I assume the pink stands for San Francisco. So let's rule out the pink in terms of what the teams are. And because of the number of colors there are, I think we are predicting, instead of the Super Bowl now, we're actually predicting the 4 conference championship.
Oh, okay.
So if we're looking at this, there's only one baby blue team like that, and that's the Detroit Lions. So I think they are a conference championship team. But then there's green and gold. Like, could we see an NFC North conference championship? That's what it's kind of looking like there.
Green and gold, I would say, is one of the more predominant colors in this, certainly.
Well, I think the blue is unmistakable because there's no other team. I think the green is pretty unmistakable. I think the yellow could stand for multiple teams, and then there's red as well, is what I'm seeing. Red and yellow is Chiefs.
I mean, so true. Red and yellow is Chiefs. So, who's the other AFC team?
Who's the other yellow team?
Why am I losing this in my mind? Chargers?
Steelers. Could be Chargers. That's very good. Chargers are that blue. It could be blue and yellow for the Chargers. Or it could be yellow for the Steelers, because that's my narrative. But it could be either.
Brandon said this is the color arrangement for the Kelsey Swift wedding, which is also very funny. Let's say it's Super Bowl teams. Okay. Let's just say.
I mean, you can't get all of them in that, though.
Okay. White, blue, red. I got it. It's Patriots, Packers.
I mean, Bills are blue, red as well.
Bills, Packers. Bills, Packers. One team will either continue to be the winningest franchise of all time, or the other will suck forever.
I mean, maybe.
By the way, no doubt in my mind, the Bills lose the next Super Bowl they make. It's way too much pressure. You can't put that on a team. Whether that's next year or in 10 years, there's no world.
Bills fans are so proud that they made a Super Bowl before, by the way. They trying to clap back at me in YouTube comments talking about how they're not cursed. They made this Super Bowl the last time this thing happened. I'm like, what happened in the Super Bowl, bitch? You fucking lost. It doesn't matter. Hang the banner. Stupid asshole. Bills suck. They're all fake. I hate Bills fans. I think they're my least favorite team in the NFL.
That is definitely the Lions color scheme, though.
It is. Like, how do you mistake that?
I mean,
it has to be. The Chargers are also that baby blue, though, too.
Lions, Chiefs. So I kind of like that. So let's do this. But here's the thing. If I had to pick between the Chargers and the Steelers, I would pick the Steelers. I like them more than the Chargers.
Me too. Chargers, baby blue. Yeah, I mean, this also works for the Chargers.
I was like, does anyone wear pink? Everybody does because I'm an idiot and I forgot about Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Let's go back to this really quick. But yeah, I mean, it is that same blue basically. Blue and yellow.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it. I think we've cracked the case. I also think it could be, what if it was like there are so many colors that we should actually be figuring out what colors aren't in here?
Purple.
And it's them. No, stop. It's too close to pink. They're out. It can't be them.
I mean, I don't know. We can already rule out certain teams. There's no Saints in there. There's no
Saints
Vikings in there.
What if this is nope, Zach, you're all over it. Saints Raiders.
Okay, there you go. Wouldn't that be interesting?
I know.
No, I think Saints. This is the story we're getting with the Saints this year. Saints are bad. Saints top pick. Saints get Arch, just like they had Archie.
But is Arch going this year?
Depends on who's the first overall pick.
Which, by the way, I already like one of the tweets I saw that was trending was if Arch doesn't think we'll run this back for another round, he's got another thing coming. We'll do this. We'll do this twice in a row, which I was like,
yeah,
100%.
100%.
Do we want to end on the loser draft? Or
I think so. Is there any other predictions? Not really.
I had quick ones, quick hits.
Okay, quick hits, and I got one as well.
Joe Flacco will somehow win comeback player of the year again.
Okay. I think Daniel Jones is high in the running as well.
Yes. I think that's good. And then I was hoping you would tell me if this was spicy or like statistically probable. Less than half the teams that won their division last year will repeat. I think only 3. I almost said 2, but that felt really, really bold. I think 3 of the 8 will repeat.
So Lions, Ravens,
Bills,
Texans, Bills, not Texans.
Oh, Texans. Sorry, you're just listing them all from last year. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Eagles, Chiefs,
Buccaneers.
So I think they all have a good shot. Who do you think's not going to get there?
Here are the 3 I think will. Okay, and you're gonna notice a hypocritical pick amongst these. Okay. I'm gonna change it right now. So I'm gonna say not fun, but I just think their division means they're gonna win it. Is the Bills?
Sure.
I think they're gonna win theirs. I think the Chiefs are gonna win theirs. Same reason. I'll pick against them when they do.
That's a trendy one. People are picking against the Chiefs, but that's
why I just said 3 because I am between them and the Eagles because I don't have both of them in my 3, but I just know that sometimes the NFC East likes to do random things. So what I've got written down is Bills, Chiefs, Lions. I've got the Ravens getting in the playoffs but not winning the division. I've got the Eagles getting the playoffs but not winning the division. And that's why I didn't say playoff teams. I think a lot of those teams make the playoffs. But like,
who do you think wins the AFC North?
I think that there's a chance that I basically did it on like probability of like, I just think I could see somehow the Bengals or the Steelers doing it. Not likely, but like, okay, there's 2 of them. So maybe one of them.
The NFL's trying their absolute damnedest to get the Bengals in the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
You know how they always start terrible? They start the season with the fucking Browns and the Jags.
I know.
Like, tell me that's not rigged.
So I think if I had to pick one of those teams, I would pick Steelers. They've added folks. Sure. Ravens get beat. I think the Ravens is one that could do it. If I was going to pick odds, I guess, because like you said, people have been picking the Chiefs. I think by sheer odds, you would go Ravens, Bills, Eagles, and then you'd say somehow the Lions shit impacts the Lions, and they lose a very tough division. And the Ravens lose a tough division, in that world, the Chiefs lose a tough division.
Well, here's the thing. If you think the Packers are the second best team in the NFC North, this is the worst case scenario for the Lions to play the Packers week 1 because the Lions are like we said, 2 coordinators gone. So this is the best time to play the Lions. They're healthy, but there's a lot of things that need to get figured out. Packers, they bring back pretty much everybody. They just threw a wrench into the equation with Micah Parsons, but I mean, that's a pretty nice wrench to throw in there, I suppose. Like,
yeah,
there's no uncertainty really on offense. They have it figured out. Not to say they're outstanding, but there's no questions. And then defensively, pretty much everybody has their role except for Micah Parsons, and you kind of can plug him in at every position anyway.
I think what I was going for is I wanted to pick a number, but besides the AFC East, I would say every division has at least 2 teams that people think are about as good as each other. Not that everyone's picking them, but it's like, I just kind of thought the divisions were wide open. And I know, listen, the Buccaneers, I think, is another one that it's like, okay, it's probably them. But again, that division is chaos. And also, listen, I hate the guy, but like the Falcons almost messed around and won it last year. So if they're healthy at all,
they'll be good.
Yeah.
They'll be a decent team.
And I believe in Bryce Young. I don't know if I should, but I just
no.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, I'm not taking them in the loser draft. I won't do it. I really believe in Carolina.
Okay, well, let's do the loser draft. So last year ended up being a bit of a blowout. So you do get the first pick this year. So for those who don't know, we're going to draft 10 teams each, and whoever has the most wins at the end loses.
Yeah.
We want to pick the worst teams possible. Last year, Jake picked the Vikings with his first pick because he hated JJ McCarthy, immediately cursed them, and then they somehow were outstanding. So, Ted, Jake, repeat. Who's your first pick?
Okay. No, I'm not going to be bold right away. Okay. So fine, everyone. New Orleans Saints, #1 pick off the board.
Okay. Jake has the Saints. Are we doing snake or are we going back?
No, snake. Snake. Okay. I think that's fair. Yep. You get 2.
Okay. So I get 2. So I'll go Cleveland for sure.
Yep.
This is where it gets interesting. So I don't want to talk it fully out, but I will go with I'll go with the Panthers. Why not? I'll stand on my Bryce Young take.
Nice.
You got 2 now.
Yeah, by the way, I'm glad you did that because my brain went blank for a moment. I was like, should I take the Panthers? Just promise not to take them. Feels like I should take somebody in the AFC South. But I don't know who, which is kind of the whole deal. I think someone in that division is always really bad. I think the one that feels God, but they're always kind of good. No, I'm pivoting fully. I know you're not going to take this team, so I kind of feel bad picking them this early, but the Giants aren't good. And
that's fair.
So I'm going to go them. There is a world they end up around 500, which sucks, but I'm going to go Giants.
And you got one more.
Oh, yeah. Let's double it up. I'm going to go the other New York team. I'm going to go the Jets.
That was one I was toying with.
Yeah. So I think at that point, like 3 picks in, someone should take the Jets. So I'm going to take the Jets.
Yeah, they could end up being a disaster, I think.
Just really bad. They could be really, really, truly bad. Yeah.
Fields could get hurt week 1. He's already been hurt. So there's a chance. I will go to the AFC South. I'll take the Colts. I feel comfortable.
That's who I was toying with. Yeah.
I know they're not going to be good. I don't know how bad they'll be, but I know they won't be good. And then there's so many teams kind of in the same tier right now. It's odd, but I will go with a double up AFC South.
That's what I was wondering. I wondered if you were gonna.
I won't. This could be a mistake, but I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
Okay. I think this is about right for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is good. No, I think that's a really good call. I am going to go with, now I'm looking at them all again, but I'm going to go Tennessee. I kind of agree with your thoughts on the Colts of Tennessee is building in the right direction, but I just don't, their ceiling's not that high. So, and they would be fine if they won like 4 games. So, I think I'm going to go them. And then, oh, you already took Carolina. Yeah. Not that I wanted to, but I was like, who's the other NFC South team? God, some folks are really going to disagree with this, but someone has to lose this division. I'm going to go with the Bears.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, it's just record-wise, one of those teams in that division is going to have like 6 wins, and I guess that's the one I think it's going to be.
The whole thing with both of these coordinators who came from this Dan Campbell coaching tree, which I love to say out loud, either team, Jets or Bears, especially given the markets and given how those teams are built, if they start bad, they will implode. So the Bears do this every single time. I think they're one of the most talented teams on paper in the entire NFL. However, if they start 1-3, I think they're going to be very bad. Like, I think they'll just continue to go down.
And again, like, it's just like I held off on the Vikings. Okay. That's what I just wanted to pick who's going to be division losers. I'm trying to scoop those up, and they're still out there.
True. So I got two. I'm going to go with 2 teams who are high risk, high reward. I think they both have the possibilities of imploding. First one, I'll go with the Jaguars.
Yeah, great call.
I don't believe in them. And then I'm going to go with the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins, people are saying they could shock people. It would not shock me if they had 2 wins. But they are very, they have some good players, but I think their offensive line isn't very good. I think Tua has a very high chance of getting hurt. Tyreek Hill continues to have an oblique injury, supposedly, and not want to be there. I think it's just everyone's pissed off at each other. There's no good vibes coming out of Miami. So either they're going to shock us or they are going to be terrible.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I'm scooting around to other divisions. We haven't taken anyone yet, or at least I haven't. Who the hell loses the NFC West? I'm going to say...
I know.
I'm going to say, okay, who has the lowest potential? Seattle. I'm going to pick Seattle. Here's out loud, if I pick the Cardinals, they'll be good. That's what I want to manifest. If I pick them, it won't work. So I'm avoiding them. They're mine in that. But yeah, listen, I guess there's a real chance Darnold implodes. And even if he's good, I'd be shocked if this team wins more than 9 games. So
sure,
relatively low ceiling, but they could be really bad. They could only win, there's a 5-win team in there. We just got to pull it out of them. And then speaking of pulling out 5-win teams, let's go with the Patriots. I like the strategy. I think they could build, but I could also see them not doing that well. I don't love having 2 teams from the AFC East because I actually think that division is pretty wide open. But I don't know. They're in a rebuild. So I don't think they're going to suddenly jump up. I think if they made the playoffs, it would be, a low record playoff team. So I guess that's the thought. I'm starting to pick teams that I like now, which is probably not the strategy.
Well, it's getting really tough. You still have 3 picks. I have 4 picks. There's no, we're not picking bad teams at this point. Most likely. So now I will go with the Cardinals.
I was going to say, you want to root for their demise. This is a good pick for you. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, I don't think they're a bad team. I think their upside's very low. They're a high floor, high ceiling team. They're probably 7 wins. And then there's some risky teams. You know what? Brandon, I hope you're listening. I'm going to go with the Packers.
Okay.
This is a team that accidentally won 1 divisional game last year. 1. Yeah. So I think they're going to have a hard time in the division again, and their schedule is infinitely tougher. So I think the Packers don't have that much upside.
All right. I'm looking through now, and I'm just looking for what's the easiest team to imagine imploding.
Right.
And I'm thinking injuries. Which is one of my favorite things to think about. I think I'm going to pick a couple and just hedge my bets a little bit. I'm going to start in no particular order. I'm going to go the Bengals.
Very fair.
Because they're Don't get too excited, Brandon. I'm going to go Bengals because they're a Joe Burrow injury away from being the worst team in the league.
He's gotten the shit kicked out of him already.
Correct. And even if that doesn't happen, like he borderline MVP'd their way to a somewhat good record last year. So like 100% they could get the shit kicked out of him. So again, I don't love it because Joe Burrow's really good, so I don't love picking that. And Brandon, I'm glad you mentioned you're a Niners fan. My next pick is the San Francisco 49ers.
They're also beat up right now.
Who I think we're all just afraid to say will be bad again. I think we're like, oh man, it's the Niners. I'm sure they'll be good. At this point in the draft, if I literally was like, which one of these teams is most likely to be injured? I can't not say the Niners. It's 100% the Niners. So the only reason I didn't pick them instead of the Bills is I just think they're a better run team. I've got more confidence. Somehow they'll figure it out. But I mean, listen, they had to spend a lot of money on Purdy. It kind of feels like this might be where it all blows up.
Yeah, Niners have never, ever had injury issues. It won't happen in the worst, at the absolute worst time either. Don't worry.
It's one of those things. If you're always injured, are you ever injured? You know, like does McCaffrey have anything left to tear?
That's true. And don't worry. You guys now have two players who were very recently shot on your team. So you can withstand anything. Good move trading for Brian Robinson Jr. to make Ricky Pearsall feel more comfortable. Didn't like him being the guy sticking out of the locker room.
Fantasy football hotshot, Brian Robinson Jr.
Yeah, true. Okay, so I'm picking my final two, and then you got yours.
Then I got one. Okay.
I will go with, and again, we're just banking on teams imploding at this point. Whatever disaster can strike, that's what we are hoping for. Mm-hmm. I will not pick the Steelers because I hope for Rodgers' success, but I'm not going to pretend. Here's the thing. You can pick them if you want. We know the Steelers are going to have 10 wins or 7 wins. They're in that range. So
they're not going to be bad. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Rams. Stafford's just so risky.
You just can't get out of bed. That's what you're predicting.
Honestly, he's fucking. I hate this pick. I'm going to go Rams, and then I'll make Rams my 10th pick out of principle. So I'm going to go with my 9th pick now. And again, we're looking for who can have disaster strike them. I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
I think they're a good football team, but Jerry will find a way. He can do it.
Okay. Can I just say, this whole time we've been like, oh, this is painful. What do we do? Can I just say, I'm like, there are some bad teams left on the board. I'm like,
no.
Here's what I'll say. Like, am I wrong? No one's picked. Now that I'm last, I'll say the 3 teams I'm in between.
I should have picked the Falcons, but I love me some Michael Penix.
I'm in between the Falcons and then 2 teams. I'm like, can I really not? Am I really going to leave the Broncos and the Chargers on the board? Like,
I'm not picking against the Broncos.
And I'm not picking against Harbaugh. That's what I'm like. What do I like? Both are well coached. So I'm like, God damn, like that doesn't feel. Part of me wants to pick the Texans just to sweep that entire division off the board. Yeah. Brandon's right. Cowboys are gonna get bad vibes in Dallas right now. They better hope they have a good showing on Thursday. You know what?
They could get bad fast.
I've one last pick. And I've yet.
God, Can I switch out the Rams after your pick? Is that allowed?
Yeah,
I shouldn't have done that.
Because I'm not going to pick a team you want. I'll take someone else, okay? There's one team in the mix that I do not want to succeed. And I now here at the 10th pick,
sure.
The Minnesota Vikings.
That's a good pick, though.
Boy. Hey, well, that's the whole thing. Like, I was like, they are my current pick to be 3rd in that division. The only issue is I could easily see them being 3rd in that division with 9 wins.
Happened last year, so yeah.
Correct. So that stinks. So, but they're the 10th pick, and maybe bad things will happen. But again, maybe we should call this draft. Should have been the Falcons. I just don't want to. The Falcons could win that division.
Well, the whole thing is we were looking for teams that are an injury or 2 away. Justin Jefferson's been hurt this entire preseason. If Justin Jefferson's not on the field,
hurt. Yeah.
they're not They're not going to be great.
If Carson Wentz is out there throwing bombs,
that's the most fun scenario.
Yeah, we've landed on something you've really liked. I think so. I mean, there's some other ones that are like one injury away. You mentioned the Steelers, but I'm going to go Vikings. I will allow you to change out your pick.
That, or one thing we could do is we could force one swap with the other person if we want to do that.
No, let's do both. You switch it, and then we'll force one swap.
Okay, so I went.
And I promise, I promise I won't switch out the. I would want to make you take the. What if I made you swap out right now? You're like, I actually don't want to take the Rams, and then I made you take the Rams.
No, this is what I think we do. I think we force one trade from a team from us to the other person. So I will remind you of your
top
team.
Picks.
Yes. No, you can't. Or, yeah. Okay, fine. Top 3 are protected. How about that?
Well, I was like, what was the point of me going first if you're about to take the Saints off my fucking board? Okay.
Good point. So,
okay.
Your top 3 are Saints, Giants, Jets, and then the rest of your squad is the Titans, Bears, Seahawks, Patriots, Bengals, Niners, Vikings. Okay. My top 3 are the Browns, Panthers, Colts, and then I have the Raiders, Jaguars, Dolphins, Cardinals, Packers, Cowboys, Falcons. So I'll let you swap one of your 4 through 10 with me, and no tradesies backsies.
No tradesies backsies, and you've already remedied it so that you don't have the Rams anymore.
Correct. I have Falcons at 10.
Great. I am gonna trade out.
Randy, is this the sentiment around the country right now? Am I in La La Land? What is going on?
I think it is the sentiment. Vibes are high after the Parsons trade. I want here's what I want. I want the Jags. Okay. So I want the Jags, and I'm keeping the Vikings, even though that is probably the one I should give you. But I think I'm going to give you the. I'm going to give you the 49ers. I have no idea what's going to happen in that division, and they could end up being okay. So I'm going to take the Jags.
We also got to remember, because of their divisional finish, they play worse non-divisional teams now too.
So, true. Yeah.
Like their terrible finish last year kind of benefits them for this year too.
And there should be somewhat of a return to the mean. I guess that's what I'm kind of picking against, is like the I was between them and the Bengals, and I'm like, the Bengals should maybe go down. They should go up. So that's where I'm at. Who are you taking?
I will take. I don't know why I pitched this idea. I will go with the.
You don't want to trade anybody.
I'll go with the Titans. To your point, like I like what they're doing, but they're just not there yet.
That's a good pick
and
for you.
I'll give you. I'll make you root against the Falcons. I don't want to. Unless I'll let you swap them now. Would you rather have the Falcons or the Rams?
No. Yeah, can I swap back out? No, I like that. That is true. Like, I think the only reason that I don't want the Falcons is because I like Penix, to your point. But I'm going to pretend that it's Kirk. I'm going to wish bad things upon him. So, also, this is actually probably the way to do this. Let's say they're second in that division. They could be second in that division with 7 wins.
Yeah, 100%.
So just 100%. Because they're competitive in the division does not mean they will be a good football team. So I'm fine. I like them more than the Rams. That when I was looking at it, I'm like, I think the Titans is the right pick by you there.
Right. And Brandon notes that the Niners have the easiest schedule in the NFL. They are in the exact same situation that the NFC North was in last year. So that's why you saw all those wins coming out of the NFC North. You saw the Packers. Wow. So many wins. Get to the playoffs, you might get stomped. Packers, NFC North this year, that very different story. The NFC North has a gauntlet. All those teams are not. It's going to be tough. Iron sharpens iron, though. We'll see who gets out alive. Could it be the Packers? Could it be the Bears? Could it be the Lions? Probably not the Vikings. Vikings will mess it up somehow. Okay. Anything else before we get out of here?
No, I think that's it. Next week, tune in for our big storylines. I think we can maybe do some more predictions at that point for divisions. One game.
You know what we're gonna do? We got to overreact next week. We will let you know what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
Overreact to the predictions too.
Yes. Wait, hold on. Can I make a rule? I think we predict our division winners next week.
Or do we want to do it really quick and then change them?
That's good. Well, here's what I was going to say. We pick our division winners next week. You can't pick anyone who lost. Obviously.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, for sure. They're done.
100%. They lost. They're not, they're out.
Very fair. Let's do it. We'll do it. They'll be fine. Okay, so tune in next week. We'll most likely be streaming live Monday night. So definitely tune in wherever you're watching right now. But obviously, the Flurry Sports YouTube channel is probably the best place to do it. Subscribe over there. And if you have any potential headlines for this next week or anything you want us to talk about, definitely comment it and let us know. But yeah, we will see you then. Goodbye.